Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got an unbalanced rack, 5 vowels, and not very bingo-y, but I do have good scoring tiles in the K and the M. And scoring tiles go well with vowels, so I should be able to sort this rack out. Maiko is good, M-A-I-K-O. Kai is good, K-A-I-E. Now, U doesn't work with K, in that there are no 2-letter KU words, but goes either side. So I do have Maiko. Sticking an O above this double letter square, so that's not good. What about playing something shorter? Omar, it would be nice to play off one more vowel. Wow, quite a hot X spot. Just wondering about putting the K in front, keeping double E-O for 4 more points. K is not a bingo-y tile, and this is gifting a hotspot for opponent. Well, with the new evaluation of vowels as being not as bad as they used to be, I am minded to go with this. Great, I draw the X and the rest of the rack pretty good. I have drawn 4 consonants to go with the 3 vowels I've kept. Of course, that doesn't prove anything, because every possibility of 4 draws was possible. However, I am left with a decent rack. So I have Ox and Bio. Dax not good. takes an E. So I should have some scope for plays parallel to Cami, but I expect opponent is also looking at that spot. Dub only takes an S. Cami takes nothing in front, and I think a K and an S afterwards. So no bingo here. I would have Excelsior through C and I disconnected. That's not going to happen. What about the pairs that are available? D and A. No. UM. No. BI. No, I'm not seeing any bingos with this rack. There could be an 8 with the right floater, but no floaters at all at the moment. I'm certainly not seeing a 7. What about a non-bingo which hits the triple word square beginning UM? Nope, not seeing anything. I don't have any EOX plays. Yeah, just 19 points for opponent. That shows one of the advantages of playing a heavily overlapping play. Now Dag takes an O. Umu only takes an S, so I have XO. Is that the play? 26 points, a bit disappointing with the X, but this gives very little away. Rackley pretty good. And keeps things tight. Yeah, and if I draw even one vowel, then I've got a pretty decent 5-letter set with an S lane bingo in column 10. I am going with this. So I do draw a vowel or a couple of vowels, but I think the W is the fly in the ointment. I'm not seeing a 7-letter bingo with this rack. What a shame. And no floaters, so super tight board. And if opponent does bingo, there will be floaters. I may be able to bingo, although I'm not massively optimistic. I don't think there's going to be a ton of 8s with this rack. Exo takes nothing in front. Row L fairly hot. X takes I and U underneath it. I have neither. Dago only takes an S. Now gun, G, K and S. Well, I don't think I'll be playing my S this turn. I don't think the points I can get from it will justify burning it with a non-bingo. Okay, opponent bingos. And I have a ton of floaters. And I was wondering about an E. Is Weaseler good? Could be. What about the R? That's the best floater. And I have where spelt A-R-E and E-A-R, but with E-L. So leg wears through a G. But I'm not seeing anything with an R. Weaseler, I'll come back to. F. Welfares. Welfares, fantastic. I am definitely bingoing. And this surely is the best spot. 88 points. And this is going to be better than Weaseler, regardless of, well, even if Weaseler is good, Welfares is going to be better. I am going with this. And a pretty horrendous set of 7 random tiles. Is it saved by the V? Now, this board has gone from being super tight to super wide open, 2 triple lanes available, and floating E's, S's and R's, all of which are bingo-y tiles. Has opponent done better with his draw of 7 random tiles, or her? So what am I going to do with this rack? AUA is good, which would deal with the vowels. The V, given how rubbish the rest of the rack is, the V's not a problem tile. Okay, great. Well, no back-to-back bingo for opponent and not a massive score either. And opponent dampens down the volatility. 10 points between us. So, wow, I'm not sure I can even take this S out or benefit from it myself. I just don't think I've got a 4-letter play which can go with that, which is annoying because opponent almost certainly will have. So what to do? I do have U and I for the X. I could play Vi. That's pretty lame, keeping 4 vowels, not scoring very much. Maybe I should change. I could play Uvia. What does that look like? Grim, only 9 points with a poor rack leave. Via and EA, 14 points, keeping 3 vowels. I'm going to change. This is just too painful. So, do I keep AIS or AS? Well, there is a floating E on the board. And old habits die hard. So I am going to take out that I as well. Oh, wow. I wish I'd kept the I, then I would have had chi and cheese. Gosh, and I've thrown back a U. What a horror show. So I have Shaps in row O, should that remain available. Now, this is quite nice. H and P can go on this triple letter square. So I have Heap. I think I'm going to leave the Q for another turn. But Heap works quite nicely. Doesn't reach this double word square, alas. And opponent with a ton of vowels as well. Only 24 points, so I've gotten off fairly lightly from opponent's access to these triple word squares. And I trail by about 30. So, this is what I'm looking at. 37 points, pretty decent. It would be nice to play off one more tile. So what do I have in row L? Well, hasps. 30 points, keeping QH. Gifting opponent multiple scoring spots. What about parallel to meows? H can go over the M. I'm not seeing any words which play PH and H. I would need an O for foe. This O isn't available. I have par for 35, but that's effectively the same as heap. Yeah, can I play off par with an S somewhere? Shap is not good, it's shaps. I would have ether through an E, so there is a spot for playing PHAH, but it doesn't score enough. So I have haps 28 and 31 if I burn the S in front. Burning 2 S's when there's an S lane. I think I keep 1 S. If I draw an I, I've got cheese and dubs. So that's 28. That's 26, not as good. I think I do want to burn that extra consonant, even though it's an S, given I've got 2 big tiles on my rack. How much am I sacrificing? This is 28. This is 37. I'm going with the extra points. Heap for 37. Wow, and I draw an A, or draw vowels, which is pretty useful. Now, there is a spot for my Q above the I. So I have caddy at the moment. And I may need to hang on to the Q for one more turn. So I do have the H for score. My preference would be caddy. Burns the Q, sorts out the duplicate A. But I'm expecting opponent to play around there, unless they have a bingo. I guess row L is the other hot spot. If I had an I could play caddy. Wow, I could have caddies, but I don't have that I. I chucked it back a while ago. Now, great bingo by opponent. Does logical take an A in front? Possibly. Opponent's blocked my caddy spot, not really surprising. So I trail by 90, that's a lot. I've got had here. 30 points, that's not bad. Still good bingo lanes at the top of the board. Let me just check a logical so that I know. Yeah, it is good. So, well, let me first of all check this. 31, that's probably worth doing. Actually, shad is good. So this is 37, leaving the best possible rack leave, I think, given that I'm unable to burn the Q. Well, I can burn it for 11, but 37 for shad has got to be better. Only 1A to come. But I think if I don't take this spot, there's a good chance opponent will play in row O. Yeah, 37 I think is a decent score given I trail by 90. I am going with this. And I dodge all the I's and U's. So, am I going to be able to offload this cue? Currently, there is chi above the I of logical. But again, I may be able to score highly and retain the cue. 4 I's to come. So, if I'm going to score highly, I'll be playing the Y. Oh, an opponent's gone in the spot I had in mind for the Y. Joey is good, but nothing goes between R and pi. So I think probably burning the cue is good here. This rack leave isn't bad. There will be 7-letter bingos. Elysian is good if I draw an I. That plays in column 11. Yeah, I think I play the cue, but am I missing a better cue spot? I've got an A for cat. Let me just reassess. 9 minutes on my clock, 32 tiles in the bag. So, have I considered all possible cue spots? I've got an A, so cat. Oh well, 5 T's to come. Where is the T that's been played tardily? So, no, I don't. I am playing chi for 11. Well, I do not draw an I draw the W. Not seeing a bingo with this rack, but decent scoring tiles. So can I close opponent down a bit? Over 100 between us. W and Y both non-bingo-y. Chin is good. I don't have a vowel for going under the G. Chi has blocked this X spot. Hep is nice by opponent, taking out column 2. So, wow, do I do this? I've got way here and you, taking out 2 7-letter lanes, but leaving alone column 10. And, well, and keeping the best possible rack leave. Is there somewhere else to play off W and Y? A load of E's to come, so I could do this. 20 points, keeping A, N, S. Creating floaters, but not great ones, leaving alone the bingo lanes on the right of the board. E and L did help this rack, so this is 20. 7 more points than Way. So I'm just looking at the tiles which can go above the Y from the remaining pool, and it's just B of the scoring tiles, so that's not particularly helpful for opponents. But since these bingo floaters aren't particularly useful, if I play here and opponent ignores this, then opponent may take out everything on the right by perhaps playing in column 11. Let me consider something else. What about you for 31? That keeps alive columns 10 and 11, creates a new lane in column 14, so I'm not really taking out any lanes. There are still 3 vertical lanes on the right of the board. If I draw an E, and there are lots to come, or an I, that will be a fairly decent 5-letter set. And look at the score, 31 points. I'm going with this. And I draw a horror show. Let me count the remaining vowels. 16 out of 33, so it's a balanced bag, but I don't have a balanced rack. Wow. 38 points for opponents. And look at this, super hot spot in column 15 with this double letter square next to the O. And I can't stick C or V on that spot. Floating O doesn't give me a bingo. Still 2 bingo lanes. I think I need to take this out, and I think this is the best I can do. Clan for 24. Create a couple of new lanes. Look at this, I'm keeping the V, and there's still a V to come. And double V would be pretty deadly. However, N and V go well together. If I draw vowels, E and I, then veins is a pretty decent 5-letter set. I live in hope. Okay, well I dodged the second V, and I do draw an I, but I miss all these E's, and I don't have a bingo. And I trail by 100 points. So I have Vint and TE, which sorts out the duplicates, burns the V, leaves all these bingo lanes alone on the right-hand side of the board, although the lanes are primarily columns 10 and 11. And another bingo from opponent. I think that is the nail in the coffin. I'm not coming back from this. So does the E give me a bingo? Invents plus an I. No, not seeing one. What about an ING? I don't think Vintings is good. 11 tiles in the bag. So what to do? I am still minded to play Vint. Although opponent has taken out the 2 really good bingo lanes, they have provided 3 or 4 decent floaters. Just check, 4 minutes on my clock, just checking that I've considered all of them. N-E-G-A. I'm not seeing a bingo. I am playing Vint. Okay, I draw an E. Wow, remaining pool still pretty bingo-y. Taste van through an A. Does that have an anagram? Maybe. What about vettings? Is good. Will it stay available? The floaters in Negator are a lot more useful than the floaters in Vint, so if I were opponent, I might be drawn, and I had the right rack, I might be drawn to a parallel play to Negator. So what about the floaters in Vint? Nothing with the V. How about the I? No. How about the N? That's pretty useless. So it's vettings or nothing. Unless there's an anagram of taste Vin. Nope, not that I can see. So I have drawn the second V. What do I do if opponent blocks my bingo? Oh, wow, fantastic. Bingo by opponent. And blocks my bingo. And empties the bag. And opponent has got Orient plus an E. So opponent has got Neoteric in row A, which I need to block if I can't go out by myself. So I'm not seeing an anagram of taste van. What about an R? No, that's the only new floater opponents provided. Do I have anything ending in C? I don't think so. So I need to block Neoteric. Does opponent have a second bingo? Does opponent have a bingo with an R? Reorient. So can I block Reorient and Neoteric? I don't think I can. How would that possibly be possible? It's not. So I block the higher scoring. which I can do with Vinos for 24. So, does opponent spot reorient? Not the easiest bingo to see, but if they do, they will be pushing 600 points. So what if opponent misses and they have 11 minutes to avoid that fate? Am I going out with Tet? I have Tret through the E and opponent finds it. And the final score, 320 to me, 599 to opponent, a winning margin of 279 points. So well done to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Amazingly high scoring by opponent. So it was opponent to go first with the blank. No bingo, plays a dub. And now Kima, that's nice. I play Kami for 25, one more point available, but burning one more vowel as well. However, Kami did retain an E, and possibly Kame would have been better, keeping EIO. Now, opponent's rack. Wow, missed bingo, refurbing, very difficult to see, 9-letter play through BI. Opponent plays gun. My rack, I play X over 26. I could have burnt the S and got 11 more points, so that's pretty much what the S is worth, so I don't think those moves are far apart. Opponent's rack does find Triffer, which was a superb spot, but I'm able to come back with welfares, and Weaseler was good. So at this stage, I lead. Opponent plays tardily, and this is the point where my rack massively deteriorates and stays deteriorated despite everything I try. So Vor for 23. Oh wow, yeah, I think that would have been definitely worth doing. And I changed, so I think that's an instance of where playing would definitely have been better than changing. Opponent with loads of vowels plays meows. And now here we go. N8, SHH, that's nice, hanging on to the A, scoring well. So what do? I play heap for 37, same score, but an inferior rack leave, so SHH would have been the play. Nice bingo by opponent. And I have Shad for 37, which I think is fine. So I trail by about 40. Opponent plays Joe for 50 points, and suddenly I'm 100 behind with the Q. So I burn the Q. Q's worth about -9, I think. So I sacrifice 20 points. But I still feel that QI is the right play. There are bingos with this rack leave, and there's a precious few with that after hay. I think this is the sort of move where the score and rack move consideration maybe doesn't tell the whole story, and you'd really need to do a simulation to compare these moves, but as it stands, I'm happy with Chi. Nice play by opponent, 25 points from a grim rack. Now, no bingo for me, but I was really pleased with this. I saw you after a while, and suddenly I'm only 80 points behind with a bingo-y rack leave. Nice score by opponent of 38 points, and I draw poorly. So Vax keeping LNN. I prefer Clan for 9 fewer points, hanging on to the S. Now, great rack for opponent. Bingos with Negator. No bingo for me. Vinting is good, but it doesn't take an S. So I play Vint, and opponent has a back-to-back bingo for the second time in the game. And now the game is hopelessly lost from my perspective. No bingo for me. I play Vinos, and opponent bingos out with Reorient. Also has Area Knight through the eye of Vinos. So what a game. Absolutely Brutal stuff. Nearly 600 points from opponent. An absolute tsunami of bingos from them, beginning with the superb spot of Triffer. But you can get runs like this in a game, and you can also have back-to-back games where this happens, and it's particularly painful when this happens on the last day of a multi-day tournament. So that's really painful when that happens. But I think it's important just to realise that you will get games and runs of games when opponent just rolls you over and you feel really, well, not really frustrated, because I enjoy playing the game, and I know that there will be games when I have similar good fortune or good scores. So it's just part of the rough and tumble of tournament Scrabble. Anyway, many congratulations to opponent on their fantastic victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.